What a year! 2022 has been incredible on so many levels, at least when it comes to eyewear. I've taken you from Scotland to Iceland to Milan. We've gathered more subscribers and views than I ever could have imagined this year. I've connected with clients in more than 20 countries. And now it's time for the end of year awards. So hi, I'm Robert, style and vision consultant here at the Spectacle Factory, and it's my job to pair you with your perfect pair of glasses. And for so many people this year, the glasses on this table have been perfect because these represent some of the best glasses in the world and some of the best eyewear ever designed. We've got everything from McLaren to Cartier to Reykjavik eyes, limited edition frames, more than you could ever think possible on one table. And we're going to be judging these glasses on criteria like quality, durability, style, of course, comfort, originality, and more. So without further ado, I present to you the 2022 Eyewear Awards. Let's start with Best Value. And not an easy place to start because in this segment there are a lot of good options. Nowadays you really can get great glasses without spending a ton of money. We have 3 candidates within this category. The obvious one, as I already made a video about them this year, is Gast. I only found out about Gast in 2022 on my trip to Milan. I took you guys with me and we met Myrte Gastaldo, the founder of Gast, in Milan, and we became the first UK stockist of his product. And I'm very proud of that because I really believe in what he's doing, bringing quality and very typical Milanese style at an affordable price point. Myrte's background is with a large eyewear company, I'm sure you can guess. And I think Myrte wanted to do things better, and he really has achieved that. His acetate frames feel every bit a luxury product, but cost, well, probably a quarter of most of the frames on this table. This particular model, which is the Dime in caramel, is sumptuous, and caramel is probably my favorite colorway that they produce. It's quite distinctive actually, and it comes in a range of different shapes. I could have picked many different shapes, but the Dime is cool in 2022 because this chunky square styling has really been in this year. So I definitely wanted to showcase a frame that was of that ilk, and the Dime is the one. Next up, we have a frame which has been requested from us a ton this year. This is the Eco Eyewear Slate from their bioacetate collection. Now, a bioacetate frame won in last year's value category, and it could well win in this year's category. I wear these glasses with my custom sweet violet tint, and they are genuinely one of my favorite glasses to wear. Mainly because of the tint, but I think this frame complements it so well. Being crystal, it is very versatile. You can wear it with clear lenses, as you see here. You can wear it as sunglasses even, and everything in between. I went for 50% sweet violet on mine. I love them to bits, and I really enjoy wearing these glasses. They are surprisingly comfortable as well. I can really vouch for that. More so than the Gast, as I also own a pair of Gast glasses. At the end of the day, it's kind of a relief to take those off because they are quite heavy, quite firm, and quite chunky. I think because of the spring hinges, although I'm not a fan of them, that does increase the comfort levels on this particular pair. And finally, this is not a frame that came out this year. In fact, Anglo-American have been making the 406 for decades, but it is a frame that has exploded in popularity this year. It's a quintessential round frame that comes in a ton of different colours, like more than 10, and I believe 4 different sizes, 2 of which are available with the sun clip that you see here. I'm a huge fan, especially in value eyewear, of sun clips because eliminating the need to purchase a second pair of sunglasses makes these glasses as a package a lot more affordable. In Crystal and Havana, as you see here, it's extra cool. But the sun clip is definitely what makes it. And I have clients who will actually have 3 or 4 or more of these sun clips, and they can, with different tints, and they literally switch between them throughout the day or throughout the week. It just makes them incredibly versatile. But aside from that, as with the other 2 frames that I just showed you, these feel way more premium than they are. And that's what makes these 3 pairs of glasses excellent value for money. So which one's going to be the winner? This is a very difficult category, as you'll see all of them are. But since they are the least expensive of the 3, and since they probably are the most stylish and on trend of the 3, I'm going to go with the Dime by Gast. What a cool frame. If you're looking for maybe a second pair of glasses, something that's a bit different, or if you're simply shopping for great glasses at a lower price tag, these would be the ones I would most recommend. Shall we compare that against the opposite end of the spectrum, the luxury eyewear category? Why not? So in this category, again, we've got 3 candidates. We have the Cartier Solid Gold Rimless, reference number CT01710. This is Cartier at arguably their best, stripping away the other luxury materials that they use like buffalo horn and wood, stripping away the typical gold and platinum. In rose gold, it's just softer to wear. It's more minimalistic. It's at the same time more expensive than all of those. You're getting less material and you're paying 3 to 4 times more. That might seem crazy to some people, but guess what? Less is often more. Less is usually more. And in this case, I think less is more. This entire pair of glasses is constructed from solid rose gold, and it's the only time you'll see rose gold in Cartier. In fact, I think it's the only time I've seen actual real rose gold in eyewear. It's not an easy material to work with, and Cartier have used it to craft a beautifully elegant pair of glasses. Typical Cartier styling, understated, vintage almost, classy. Nothing quite makes the world stop moving like wearing these glasses. They just almost exist within their own realm. And that's why these solid gold Cartier rimless glasses are a very strong contender for luxury frame of the year. Next up, complete contrast to those Cartier frames, is the new Luca de Stale leather two-tone frame. This features, as the name suggests, a two-tone leather construction. And the one that frames the lens is in this textured, beautifully finished patinaed leather. Now, in this colorway, the contrast between the lens rim and the rest of the frame is relatively subtle. We had this in 2 colorways, and in the other one there was a bigger contrast. It had a tan leather contrasting against, if I remember rightly, a darker brown lens rim. In this frame there's less contrast, and in a way that might be better for some people. I preferred the other colorway, but we're completely sold out of it. I can't show it to you today. But it works really well in this colorway as well. And I just really like what Luca de Stale have done. Luca de Stale, if you're not familiar with them, are a Parisian-based company who handmake every pair of glasses from natural materials, such as leather. Nothing quite feels like these frames when you have them on your face. The softness of the leather, the natural flexibility of the material, they just bring a different experience when wearing glasses. And almost, I guess that's what luxury is all about. Taking you out of everyday experiences and giving you something new that's not easy to attain. And last, but definitely not least, we have the McLaren Ultimate 3D printed frames. These were the world's first 3D printed titanium glasses. The front of these frames is one single piece of 3D printed titanium. Now, they have technically since been superseded by the limited edition Ultimate frame, which is literally one complete piece of 3D printed titanium. But without the initial step that McLaren took with this pair, they would never have been able to achieve that. And in some ways, you might prefer this because it has the Formula One rubber temples, which McLaren are becoming really popular for. That gives enormous flexibility, but also enormous grip. You see, Formula One tyres are designed for one purpose, to keep the car on the track. And the sides of this frame keep these glasses on your head. I love the futuristic, very, very futuristic styling of these frames. I think I said in my review of them that I got Blade Runner vibes from them, and it really reminds me of that ultra-futuristic, almost brutalist architecture. We have very defined lines from the 3D printed titanium front, with an integrated nosepiece design as well, which kind of looks very sharp and angular and almost aggressive in a way. And then we have the floating lenses, which almost appear to float in space. A last little design feature I want to focus on is the rotating hinge, which mirrors the rotating car doors of McLaren. And all things considered, these are the winner of the luxury frame category in 2022. Why? Because whilst the Luca de Stale are beautiful, the Cartier are timeless, classy and elegant. Both are amazing takes on glasses that have already been done. but you've never seen anything like this. Let's take a break from frames for just a moment and let's talk about sunglasses. I knew the winner as soon as I saw them and as soon as I saw a client try them on. So which one do you think it will be? Well, again, we have a short list of 3 pairs. Let's start with the new Cartier Buffalo Horn rimless sunglasses. When I first saw it, I thought it was something completely brand new that Cartier had never done before. I've since been corrected, and I love you guys for sometimes educating me, because apparently this is a reissue or a re-edition of a design that Cartier made previously, I think in the 80s or 90s, I believe. Unlike any Cartier that I had seen previously, the gold metalwork now extends down about halfway through the temple. That makes these glasses look even more premium and gives them even more presence on the face. Despite the fact that they're a very small pair of sunglasses, I think that is balanced out by the fact we have a hexagonal shape that keeps these really cool, keeps them stunning actually. They're very impactful, despite not being oversized. Usually it takes a really big, bold pair of sunglasses to make a massive statement. These make a statement without being big. They just have their own presence, their own classy elegance, similar to that rose gold pair that we looked at, but clearly a lot more bold. The buffalo horn temples are so smooth, well polished. The patination on this particular frame is actually really nice, but we've seen a lot of good patination on the models that we've had so far. These can of course be customized to your prescription with different lens sizes if you wanted, but I really think the whole aesthetic of this frame lends itself to that undersized styling. Similar to the McLaren actually, which we're going to get to in a second. But these were definitely one of the best sunglasses that I've tried on in 2022. Moving on, definitely the most exclusive sunglasses that we've reviewed this year. The McLaren Ultimate Limited Edition is simply incredible. 3D printing has been around for a little while now, but very, very few glasses are made using 3D printed materials. No glasses prior to the Ultimate frame had been 3D printed from titanium. And no glasses before this pair were made from a single piece of 3D printed titanium. A true groundbreaking achievement. And McLaren limited these to only 25 pairs. We got pairs number 1, which are sold, and number 2, which you see here. I haven't talked about tints so far because I do feel that the tint on the Cartiers lets them down a little bit. It's a fairly typical grey tint. Yeah, it's okay, but just nothing particularly special. The tint on the McLaren Ultimate Limited Edition sunglasses is a bit better because we now have a grey gradient lens, and I think a gradient lens is always more comfortable, especially when worn indoors. And you might think, I'm not really going to wear my sunglasses indoors, but a pair like this, you might reconsider that. On top of that though, the finishing touch is the beautiful ruby flash coating, which gives them a red or pinkish finish on the lens. That makes them look even more advanced, even more futuristic, and even more premium. I can't get over the way these vibrate as you take them off. It's so cool to see that. I mean, I don't know why, but it just brings a level of excitement every time I remove them and they have that vibration. That is just super cool. I mentioned in my review of them that these are almost alien. They are alien in their aesthetic and they're completely alien in how they feel. It's just an amazing construction, and it's almost impossible for me to believe that these are not the winners of the best sunglasses of 2022. I'm going to surprise you now, because the pair that are going to win this award are by Robert Roche, the Myrte. And these are, a quarter the price of the Cartiers, around an eighth the price of the McLarens. But guess what? I think I love them more. Because whilst I feel that the Cartiers appeal to a very specific audience, and the McLaren will almost have no audience, being only 25 pieces, this is a sunglass that any lady can wear. I'm going to wear it for you because I actually don't even think it looks terrible on me, but it's definitely a more feminine style. There's so much to talk about with these sunglasses, I don't even know where to start. I love the shape. I adore the construction. We have a titanium frame interlaced with an acetate lens rim. Beautifully constructed. I love these kind of combination frames, but I have never, ever seen a combination frame done as well. Robert Roche are an independent brand from Austria, one that was hugely popular in the 70s and 80s and has been revived in recent years. The craftsmanship is fantastic. It's rare to see a brand that is at the top of their game when it comes to titanium manufacturing. And it's rare to see a brand that's at the top of the game when it comes to acetate manufacturing. But to combine a beautifully finished titanium frame, there's lovely details like the striations along the lens rim, for example, the gorgeous and sumptuous polishing of the olive green acetate, as well as, just to finish it off, the beautiful Zeiss lenses with an olive green gradient tint with anti-reflection coating on. Everything about these sunglasses is perfect. The titanium temples feel really smooth and sleek to wear. They're honestly so lightweight and comfortable. They are more comfortable than the other two, there's no question. They are, in my opinion, probably more stylish than the other two, if not quite as original or quite as special perhaps. But the trick with the Myrte is it looks good on everyone who tries it. Whether as a sunglass or even as an optical frame, you can remove these lenses and it can be worn as glasses too. It's just super versatile, but super cool. And that almost never happens. Usually the more stylish a frame is, the more limited it is in its appeal. That isn't true for the Myrte. It can be worn by any lady and it is stunning. It's absolutely stunning. And I'm really happy that I've got it today to show you because it's been very difficult to keep in stock because literally, like I said, everyone who tries it on loves it. I had to actually order a specific one and hide it away just for the awards today. I'm so glad that it won. It really deserves to win. Very strong category this year, probably the strongest we'll ever have on the channel, but the Myrte is the winner. That's a lot of frames that I've talked about so far, and we still have another category or two to come. I'm going to break it up a little bit now by talking about lenses for a moment. Let's talk about some of the best tints that we've produced this year. Tints are becoming a phenomenon. Almost every client who orders glasses from us now will customize them with some amount of tint. It's so much more rewarding for me to make something for you that is bespoke and something that is tailor-made. And that's what tinting your glasses allows you to do. You can create something that probably nobody else in the world has. So speaking of that, the best tint, and I thought long and hard about this, the best tint that I've produced this year is going to be this lens for Jose Mercado. Now this is just a sample, this is not the real lens that we made, but this is the tint that it was based on. There's so much that went into his lenses. Let me guide you through it. The first thing is we had a bi-gradient tint. That means it's a lens that combines two different colours. That in itself is difficult to achieve. But those two colours, Jose could not have picked a more challenging combination because yellow and orange are quite tricky tints to get just right. If you go too yellow, it looks sickly. If you go too orange, it just looks wrong. I think we got the level of this tint just right. But that's not even where it ends. We also added a photochromic, a brown photochromic on top of this cool custom tint. So that in the sun, they went even darker while still shining out in that colour, but giving more sun protection and looking like a full-on pair of sunglasses. And Jose, I think he'll no doubt back me up, he was absolutely blown away. There have been hundreds more that I could talk to you about, but this is just one that sticks in the mind, especially because I've got a sample of it, and I'll always keep this sample as a reminder of the work that we did on that order. And now we're going to look at the best fashion frames of 2022. Not necessarily the independent brands that I love to showcase, but brands, for example, like Gucci, Boss, and Chloe. And I've got three amazing examples from those three brands to show you today. Where to start? Well, we'll start with the Chloe pair. We've actually converted these into sunglasses, but they come as an optical frame. There are a lot of nice details on these glasses, from the rope-like braided effect on the temples to the bio-based material, a really nice touch, wins a lot of points with me, to, well, in particular, the shape. It's all about the shape. The shape on these glasses, and it is a bit feminine, but I will model it for you, as I know you guys like me to. The shape on these is very original, and originality always carries a lot of weight with me. They're not just original, they are cool, in my opinion, and very stylish. But the reason why these have not won the award this year, they're just too difficult to wear. 9 out of 10 people who put these glasses on don't feel like they suit them. And even if they do look great, it's just a little bit of a step too far for most people to get accustomed to this kind of style. But it's amazing as a second pair option, or even as a tinted sunglass. We combine this with another bi-gradient tint, as you can see here, and I think the effect is really stunning actually. Something a little bit different, which I like to see from the fashion brands who often play it very safe. Secondly, another runner-up are the Hugo Boss Golden Edition frames. Now, I can appreciate the quality of these glasses because they are handmade Italian acetate with gold-plated temples, gold-plated bridge, and even a gold-plated lens. And I think the style is kind of cool, but for me, the gold lens is just a little bit too much. So, by removing that gold lens, guess what? We have an awesome pair of luxury fashion frames. And I think you could definitely pull these off as glasses. Yes, they are bold. Yes, they are slightly oversized, very overstated. But I think they're quite classy, and I would definitely wear this frame. These are one of only 200 pairs that have been made. They are way better quality than any other Boss frame that you can buy. Not that Boss are bad, but this just takes it up a whole another tier into the luxury eyewear market almost. But ultimately, Hugo Boss are a fashion brand, so they belong in the fashion category. These, of the three that I'm going to show you now, they do feel the best to wear. Those gold-plated temples feel super smooth and luxurious. I think they're pretty cool. But the overall winner of Fashion Frame of the Year is a pair that we only just received. So they only just snatched this award. It's the Gucci, reference number 1187. The reason why I love these is for Gucci, they are very understated. I love the vintage inspiration behind them, and I love the versatility. This is another style that could almost be worn by anyone. Feminine, masculine, it can go either way. It can be worn with a tint, sunglass, photochromic. I would definitely pair these with some kind of cool tint. I like it when a frame inspires me and gets me thinking, what could I do with these glasses? You could even wear it, dare I say, without a tint, because it is that cool. One of the best quality Gucci frames I've ever tried on, if not probably the best that I've ever tried on from Gucci. It's incredibly cool and not very typical for Gucci, who are very much into their oversized, maximalist eyewear. This is not maximalist. It's cool and vintage, and I love it. And it's a deserving winner of the Fashion Frame of the Year 2022. Now, the last category is possibly the most important. It's the Frame of the Year. And for most of us who sit somewhere in between value and luxury, what are the best glasses for us? But just before I get onto that category, I wanted to show you the craziest frames of the year for something a little bit different. There was no point creating a shortlist here. There was no point showing you anything other than the Hideo Kojima and JF collaboration. Made in France, these are the HK XJF01 frames, and they are just truly insane. Let's just admit it, they are crazy. Only a genius like Kojima, teaming up with a genius like JF could create something as mad as these. Guess what? They have a visor that rotates out, and you can position it almost however you like. It even has a magnet to allow you to fix it to the temple to create an almost side shield effect. A truly crazy pair of glasses, but do you know what? I like them way more than I liked them when we first got them. When we first got them, I was like, what even is this? It's just bizarre. But the trick is in customizing them. I don't think they look their best or anywhere near their best as they are stock. But we've customized a couple of pairs with a tint in the visor, which was quite challenging actually because of the rectangular shape, and a different tint behind it. And what you can do is you can combine different tints to create a really stunning effect. They're actually a collector's item as well because of the collaboration in Death Stranding and the inspiration behind that. Very cool, very odd, and I just had to give them a little nod in today's video. Now, to finish off the video, what will be the frame of the year? Can I be honest with you? Even as I sit here now, I haven't decided. It's going to be a tough one. Let's start with the Eyewear. I criticised Reykjavik Eyes earlier in the year for not coming up with as many new frame shapes and designs as I would have liked. But they really surpassed themselves with the Eyewear. It's a very subtle styling, particularly in this copper colour, but the copper is my favourite colourway in this frame. It does also come in black and gunmetal. The copper, I think, makes it look more special. I combined my pair, because I own the Eyewear, with a brown 25% gradient tint and ruby flash coating. And I think that really finishes them off and perfects them. But it is a very, very cool frame. Typically minimalistic, very Scandinavian. The thing with Reykjavik Eyes, if you don't already know, they're indestructible. Pretty much unbreakable. Screwless, solderless, springless. There's nothing really to go wrong on these frames. They feel like you're not wearing glasses, and of all the glasses on this table, they are by far the most comfortable. It's not even a contest. The question will be, is the styling enough to beat out the other two contenders? Because I'm not sure it's the most stylish frame, but it is a cool frame to have within your collection, and it's a very easy frame to wear day to day. The Eyewear, I'm a fan. Next up, complete contrast, is the Federico by Robert Roche, the second frame by Robert Roche in this year's Eyewear Awards. The Federico is a typically bold, for Robert Roche, acetate frame that's handmade in Italy. Gorgeously finished. There are some beautiful lines on this frame and three-dimensionality that's created by contouring the inner lens rim. The dip here at the bridge is another subtle detail. The hinge, which is built like an absolute tank, but is also designed to be adjusted up and down so that you can correct them if your ear is higher or lower on one side. An ingenious design. The Federico is just awesome. In tortoiseshell, it really, really works, but it also comes in a stunning blue colour, and I believe in a couple of other colours as well. But the tortoiseshell and the blue are my favourites. It's just an awesome frame, and it really sums up 2022 because bold acetate frames just like this were super back on trend this year. Very good contender as well. And finally, we have Harold, a collaboration between Robert Geller and Barton Pereira. This is a cool frame. Unlike the other two pairs, it has the sun clip. The Harold is a Japanese titanium frame, gold plated. It is incredible. This is a shield shape, so that means it's squared off along the top, more rounded at the bottom. That makes it very wearable, more wearable than a typical round frame, and more interesting too, in my opinion. It looks awesome with and without the sun clip, and that's not always an easy thing to achieve. Like, for example, the 406, I think it's cool, but it looks best with the sun clip. I think this one just looks crazy with or without the visor. And with the Harold, it's just easy to wear either way. It looks awesome as sunglasses, it looks awesome as glasses. There is lovely filigree detail on the temples. There is lovely accentuation around the bridge. I like how they've just made it a little bit thicker and applied a little bit of a pattern to the bridge as well. They didn't need to do that, but it's just a lovely finishing touch. Very typical of Barton Pereira, who put a lot of love into their eyewear. And it feels very comfortable. It's not far off the Reykjavik eyes. I mean, these are both made from titanium. The Reykjavik eyes is probably half the weight, and that gives it the edge in terms of comfort. But no one could wear these and say that they are uncomfortable. You add that sun clip back into the equation, and it makes these a very difficult proposition to beat. Very, very difficult indeed. And now I've got to make a decision. I really could pick all three. I think for versatility, I'm going to narrow it down to the Eyewear versus the Harold, because the Federico is cool, but it might be a little bit limiting. You might not want to wear it with certain outfits. I feel like either of these you could kind of wear with anything. The copper is more subtle and understated than the gold, which is a little bit more blingy. That leans me towards the Reykjavik eyes, but of course the sun clip leans me towards the Barton Pereira. If I could only have one, I would have the Eyewear, but if I only had literally one pair of glasses, I would have the Barton Pereira because of that sun clip. So, on balance, because I know that most people have one pair of glasses, or at least one main pair of glasses, I'm going to give it to the Barton Pereira and Robert Geller collaboration on the Harold. What do you think? Not just of this choice, but of all the choices I've made today. I would love to know. And if you have enjoyed not only this video, but any and all of our content throughout 2022, please let me know in the comments below. And subscribe for more amazing eyewear content. You will not believe what I've got in store for you in 2023. I'm so excited to show you. I can't wait for 2023 to begin. For now, let's celebrate the end of 2022. I hope you've had a tremendous year. Thank you for your support. I love to help you choose your perfect eyewear. That is literally what I do. My job to pair you with your perfect pair of glasses. And that's a collaborative thing. I could not do what I do without you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you just for watching. Thank you for everything. And I'll see you in 2023. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye. It's the new Luca de Sale. It's the new Luca